A shadow is moving across Outlander Season 8. And this time, it's not the war, not the weather, and not the stones. It's something far more personal. Because as the final chapter begins, whispers are spreading that not everyone we love will make it to the end. Every choice, every secret, and every old wound is finally catching up with the Fraser family. Slowly, painfully, and without mercy. And what's coming next will test their loyalty, their courage, and their fate in ways no fan is ready for. Season 8 begins with a sense of quiet tension, the kind of silence that feels heavy even before the danger fully takes shape. The Fraser family returns to Fraser's Ridge, but the home that once felt safe now carries a strange, uneasy stillness. Claire notices it first, the way the wind sounds different at night, the way the forest feels watchful, as if it knows something the humans don't. Jamie tries to hold their world together, but even he cannot ignore the warnings. The final season wastes no time showing that the revolution is closing in fast, and with war comes loss, sacrifice, and choices that cannot be undone. One of the biggest shocks brewing beneath the surface is the danger surrounding the characters who have carried the story for years. The rumors hint that at least 2 familiar faces may not survive the final battles. And the sad truth is the Fraser family is more vulnerable now than ever before. Their alliances are scattered, their enemies are multiplying, and time itself feels unstable as Brianna and Roger continue to face the unpredictable consequences of time travel. Every moment feels heavier, every argument sharper, as if the characters themselves can sense that their story is approaching its final test. Claire, in particular, stands at the center of this emotional storm. She sees the fractures forming in their lives, and she fears what she cannot control: destiny, war, and the truth hiding behind the mysterious man shown in the teaser. His identity could change everything. Some believe he might bring answers, while others fear he may bring death. The uncertainty around him adds a layer of dread that the trailer almost seems to tease deliberately, as if warning viewers that the final season will not be gentle. The Revolutionary War becomes the backdrop that pushes every character closer to danger. Reports of raids and ambushes reach the ridge. Families flee their homes. Soldiers march through the valleys with desperation in their eyes. Jamie knows the cost of war better than anyone, and the fear of losing someone he loves weighs on him more than the fear of battle. What haunts him most is the possibility that history might repeat itself, that fate may demand another sacrifice from the Fraser bloodline, and through all of this, Claire and Jamie feel the past catching up with them in ways they never expected. Old promises resurface. Old mistakes return. Old enemies sharpen their knives. Season 8 makes it clear from the beginning that no character is protected anymore. Every decision carries a price, and every step forward brings them closer to the moment when life and death finally collide. As the Ridge prepares for the darkest chapter yet, the question is no longer if the Fraser family will face tragedy, but who will face it first. As Season 8 moves deeper into its final arc, the danger begins tightening around the characters like a slow, invisible grip. Every episode feels heavier, and every interaction carries a quiet warning. The truth becomes clear. This is the chapter where the story stops protecting people. The Ridge, once filled with laughter, family, and survival, now stands on the edge of collapsing under the weight of the war. And the characters who once seemed untouchable now face threats that feel painfully real. One of the first signs of trouble arrives when unexpected messages reach the Ridge, letters filled with desperate handwriting, talking about soldiers vanishing, homes burned, and allies turning against one another. Jamie recognizes the pattern immediately. The war is no longer approaching. It has already begun swallowing towns, families, and entire futures. And the Frasers are standing directly in its path. Even the strongest of them, characters who have survived impossible situations in the past, now find themselves facing choices that could lead to their final moments. What makes this season especially terrifying is that the danger is not coming from just one direction. While the war grows louder, another mystery grows deeper. The possibility that time itself is shifting again. Brianna and Roger feel it first. Strange echoes of the past disturb their timeline, and objects appear where they shouldn't be. Even their children sense something is wrong, as if something, or someone, is trying to pull their family apart across centuries. They fear that one wrong move could trap them in a different era forever, separating them from Claire and Jamie when they need each other most. Meanwhile, Claire begins to face her own battles, not with weapons, but with fear. She remembers every life she saved, every life she lost, and every moment she came close to losing Jamie. And now, as the shadows of Season 8 grow longer, she starts to question whether she's prepared for what comes next. She carries a quiet dread that someone she loves may not survive the final storm. Her strongest weapon has always been hope, but even that begins to tremble as the truth becomes impossible to ignore. The mysterious man from the trailer continues to haunt the story. His voice, his posture, the strange familiarity in his tone, everything about him hints at something deeper. Some fans believe he may hold a secret connected to Claire's past, while others fear he may be tied to the war in a way that puts Jamie in direct danger. His presence alone sends ripples of unease through the narrative. He is not a simple guest, nor a friendly arrival. He is a reminder that unfinished stories from the past are finally returning for answers. As tensions rise, the bonds between the characters grow even more emotional. Jamie and Claire cling to each other with a raw honesty that only comes when time is running out. Ian fights with a desperation that suggests he may be hiding the truth about the risks he's taking. Even Lord John Grey, usually composed and strategic, seems pushed to a breaking point, caught between loyalty and survival. Every character appears to be walking a thin line, and the audience feels it with every breath. By the end of this section of the story, the suspense reaches a point where fans are forced to accept a heartbreaking reality. Not everyone will make it to the end of Outlander. The writing makes it clear that the final season isn't just closing chapters, it's testing destinies. Every storyline is pulling toward a moment when the cost of the war will be paid in lives, and when the Fraser family legacy will face its darkest hour yet. The only question left is who fate will claim first, and who will be left standing to tell the final tale.